Hey y'all, Melly Mel here from Sincerely Creative Mom. This is a kit inside my shop. We are going to make it together so that the kit comes with a video. So we're going to make it together. The kit comes with this super cute God Bless America. It is a 12-inch sign. It comes with a 14-inch frame, a 10-yard roll of 10-inch mesh. It comes with 5 yards of the blue and white buffalo plaid, 5 yards of the firework ribbon. It comes with 2 yards of the stripes, 2 yards of the stars, 2 yards of the stars, and 2 yards of the red and white plaid. So this is going to be for our bow, and this is going to be for our ribbon tails. I've already gone ahead and cut these to make time go a little bit faster. They are 14 inches long. 14 inches long. And you have, out of the 5 yards, if you do this, we need 12. So we have 12 twist ties, 14 inches long on the ribbon. And you have about this much left of each one. This is from a different kit. But you have about this much left from each one. You can add that into the bow. With the mesh, we are going to use 20 inch. Let's do 25 inch. I'm going to cut off that end. Just get rid of it so it has a nice clean cut there. Let's do 25 inches. Make it just a little tiny bit fluffier than I normally do. So it'll be 25 inches on the mesh. And I'm just using my rotary cutter and a self-healing mat. And we need 12 of these cuts. One, two, three, four, five. Let's do 6. And then we'll cut the other ones when we're ready for them. Okay, so I'm going to take our mesh. Just set it aside here for a second. And our frame. Our kit comes with 15 pipe cleaners. That's all we need. And 2 zip tie mounts, which will go on the back of the sign. We're going to take our pipe cleaners. And so we have ring 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's zoom in just a little bit here. We have ring 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have 6 of these brackets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the first 6, because we're going to do 12 total, I'm going to go right around ring 1 and 2, right where that bracket is. Crisscross, nice and tight. Twist, twist. So I don't want to be able to put anything in between there. I don't want it to be floating in the air. So I'm literally going to go crisscross. And this piece is going to touch ring number 2. And this piece is going to touch ring number 1. So I want it to be flush with that wire frame. I always say crisscross, twist, twist. For the outside, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to put it in between those brackets. We're not going to measure exactly. We're just going to eyeball it. So it stays nice and tight, so that when I run my finger along the bottom, it doesn't move. So nice and tight, twist, twist. And when I run my finger right along that bottom, it doesn't slide both ways. It's just nice and tight enough to not move. To nice, good grip there. Good grip. So this one will be not the traditional pancake style. But we'll add our mesh, add the ribbon, and add a bow. I'm going to take our mesh first. We're going to do a little curl just to kind of conceal and hide that inside cut, and then a nice big ruffle, and then a little curl on the other end, and then just ruffle it in. So I have a nice big, like, kind of butterfly wings. I'm going to work on the outside first. So I put my butterfly wings kind of side to side. See here? Kind of side to side. But it fluffs up nice. Curl, curl. Ruffle in the center. Curl, curl. Just like that. I'm going to go around, do that same thing all the way around the outside. We'll add our ribbon, then we'll cut our mesh and do the inside just the way we're doing the outside. So our purpose here is to cover this wire frame. It's not part of our design. We don't want to see it. So we're going to add some mesh, then we're going to add some ribbon, we're going to add the sign, we're going to add a bow, and do our best to cover up that wire frame with pretty stuff. If you're just finding me for the very first time, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe to our page or like our page, depending on where you are watching. You can always check out more information about us if you go to sincerelycreativemom.com. Coming around to our last one. On the outside. Now again, 25 inches on the mesh gives us enough room to curl each end. You could go 29 or 30 inches on the mesh. Again, 12 twist ties, and 12 twist ties gives you enough to do, or sorry, 30 inches. If you do 30 inches on the mesh instead of the 25, because we're doing 12 twist ties only, you still have enough to do the whole wreath if you cut it at 30 inches. So we're going to go ahead now and go all around the outside and add our ribbon. So I pre-cut them at 14 inches. But anyway, I put my favorite ribbon on the top so you can see that the most. I love, love, love this firework ribbon. It is so cute. Paired with a real simple buffalo plaid, navy and white buffalo plaid. Again, 14 inches on that ribbon. Put it right down in that pipe cleaner. Twist, 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 twist. I make it so that that twist comes up about an inch. So I got about an inch here. And then I tuck it underneath that left side, that left ribbon, so that what you're really stuck with or left with is a little teeny tiny piece of that pipe cleaner. Not really enough to be noticed, even if you can see the pipe cleaner. And we're going to do our best also to cover where that pipe cleaner is so you don't see it. So nice and tiny on that ruffle there for the ribbon. Kind of point it out towards you before you put it in, so it's kind of molded and it's ready to be sticking out towards the end like a sunburst kind of. Twist that nice and tight, give it a nice foundation to make sure that ribbon doesn't slide out of there. Hide it best you can. I'm going to pull those ribbons apart and pull them side to side. Pull them apart, pull them side to side. this layer is going to end up kind of not being hidden, but you're not going to see the full layer once we have the mesh on the top and the ribbon on the top. And so you'll just see those outer kind of pieces sticking through. Nice big range of motion here, always keeping a pattern. So you see we have plaid fireworks, plaid fireworks, plaid fireworks, plaid fireworks, all the way around. Makes it very easy to see, easy on the eyes as you go along. And then we're going to go back again, 25 inches. We need 6 more pieces. You need to know, I did this kind of on purpose. The first 6 cuts that we took off that roll of mesh were a little looser. They were bigger. You see this is kind of tightly wound. It looks, you know, closer to the size of the inside of that roll, where the first 6 pieces we put on were a lot bigger. Not a lot tighter, or a lot looser. These are a lot tighter. So, you know, I wanted these pieces to be kind of big as possible. And so specifically, I want what comes off the roll first to go in my wreath first. And for me, first is the outer layer. And then what comes off the roll next goes on the inner layer. I really do that on purpose. Again, because that range of motion that the mesh gives you, their first 6 pieces or so, is much different than what comes off closer to the end of the roll. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of push in. So it's going to push these pieces kind of down and over. You're going to start covering the pipe cleaners that are there. And whatever ends up in the center of this wreath is going to end up underneath that cute sign that we have. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything we want to see comes out towards me this way. What ends up in the center of that wreath will not be seen. So now, now that I've already started my mesh here in the center, I'm going to kind of, all at the same time, I'm going to kind of move this over, and then also I'm going to move those 2 kind of curls down in towards what's there. So I'm essentially just moving everything kind of out of the way to let this piece have its own little nestled spot there. It starts covering up and doing its job. Again, 25 inches on the mesh and 14 inches on the ribbon tails. Now this wreath, this design is just meant to be a fast, quick, and easy design. Not too many things added, not too many moving parts. But it is definitely a little fluffier than my typical pancake style, which is something that is a design, a wreath design that's intentionally flat, but still about 23 or 24 inches wide. Okay, then I'm coming right down in, right on top, showcase these ribbons, all of them. Again, doing my best to make sure all of that stays, all of the ribbons that I want to see stay all out facing towards me. So nothing's going to go in the center of that design. Again, if it does, it's going to end up underneath that sign, and I want to be able to see every last piece of ribbon in the end. So I definitely want to make sure I'm not crisscrossing any for this design on the inside. I want to make sure it's all facing out towards me. Now, you could take this design and definitely do the pancake style where it is 20 inches on the mesh. On this one, I just decided to make it a little bit fuller, just a little bit. But definitely you can do that pancake design with the kit. The ribbon tails would still be 14 inches. Always pull those apart before you pull them aside so that they will stay where you put them. Snuggled right inside. How nice is that? I totally love it. Totally and absolutely love it. We're going to add that bow right to the center. The first thing we're going to do is your kit is going to come with these 3M zip tie mounts. All you do is you're going to put your pipe cleaner through here and tie it. And then pull this part into the wreath and secure it against the back of that wire frame. However, what you do want to make sure you do also is add some glue, either E6000 or the DAP Rapid glue to the underside of this before you attach it to your sign. I have not done that ahead of time, so enough time to let it dry. So I'm going to use wire. You see I added some holes here. I'm not going to use those holes, but I added holes here just kind of conceal so you can't really see it from the top. And I'm just going to kind of slide those in. I put the holes right in that blue line there to kind of help conceal it. I'm just going to flatten that out so that wire stays right in the center there. And then just make that nice and tight. Do the same thing to the other side. Again, you could do this if you want. There are holes right here that you could add your pipe cleaners to, but I don't really like to see those pipe cleaners. And the zip tie mounts, truly, you need a little bit of extra glue for support, and I did not do it ahead of time to let it dry in time. So I just added some wire. So your kit is going to come with the zip tie mounts by themselves. They're very secure, but I always like to add a little bit of glue extra. And then from here, all you're going to do is slide that right in where it needs to go. And then bring that wire in through the mesh to the wire frame. So I'm just going to make sure that that wire frame goes on each side of that wire, or the wire goes on each side of the frame. so that it has something to attach to. So that one's going towards the center. And this one I'm going to at least grab that ring 1 or 2. There we go. Make sure it's nice and snug. Twist it around a couple times. And then I'll show you the back in just a second. The same thing to the other side. Making sure I pull out all those ribbons. Nice and secure in there. And then before I fluff those all out, I'll just turn this over so you can see. So I came in here and I was able to go in so that it's kind of gripping 2 of the rings. And I'm just going to tighten this up. Kind of weave it through there. And make sure that wire kind of goes in toward the wreath so that it's not sticking out in your customer's door. So then we have what appears to be lots of ribbon. Nice pattern going on here. You can see all the different ribbons. Just smashed it. Let's make sure it looks all good again. I certainly did not take into account the fact that it says God bless America and that America is really close to the edge. And we have lots of ribbon for a bow. So let's make the bow the way it was intended, and then we can decide together whether we are going to add into our wreath, or if we are going to have it as an add-on in our listing, or an additional item in the listing that could be like for a mailbox. So we'll start with 8 inches on the tail and about 6 inches on the loop. There we go. 8 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. And I'm going to pinch here. Pull those apart. Twist and loop. Just going to eyeball it, make sure. Pinch. Twist. Loop. One more time. Pinch. Twist. And loop. Pinch. Twist. So you always want to be seeing the pretty side of that bow up towards you. Now let's go with, I think I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, go with this one towards the bottom. Same thing, about 8 inches. And we're going to do the same thing. Loop. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the last layer. And I'm going to pinch. This one is real thick. So we're going to do our best. We're going to pinch. Pull it apart so we have room back there. Twist. Loop. Eyeball it. Make sure it's about the same. Pinch. Twist. Loop. Pinch. Twist. Loop. Pinch and twist. Slide it right down in there. I'm going to go with our red plaid next. Just going to slide this in here to help keep it in place. Our red plaid next. Same thing. Exactly. Just making it a little bit smaller. Pinch. Twist. Loop. pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and twist. Take our scissors up, put this right down in place, hold that there, and then our very last one, we do the same thing except for this one we're going to have a little loop on the top. It's going to help us hide our pipe cleaner. So we have, let's go with 7 inches, because as we get going towards the top of the bow, we want all of our layers to get smaller towards the top, and then our center loop is going to be approximately 3 inches. So then I'm going to pinch, twist, loop. Now this center loop is just to help hide our pipe cleaner, so it doesn't count in our loops. Pinch, twist, loop. I also have pretty bad carpal tunnel if you're watching me for the first time. And so that's why I use the Easy Bow Maker, because it helps hold my bow while obviously I can make it in my hand. But after about this many layers, my hand needs a break before I do anything. I'm so sorry. So then come in here and add right to the top. Push down. Nice and tight. I'm going to add that pipe cleaner right to the top. And then from here, I'm just going to cut our tails. So I'm going to fold it, cut on the fold up towards the edge so you have a nice dovetail. And then once we get it in place, if it's going to be right in here, we can always cut these a little shorter if we need them to be. Give them all a little haircut. Okay, so this pipe cleaner, that center little loop that we had, it's going to help hide that pipe cleaner. So I just literally lift that up in the center. And now that pipe cleaner is gone. And then, I don't think we're going to add it into our wreath, but we're going to fluff it together. So I'm going to make sure those ribbons go all over the place. Specifically trying to not make them touch each other. Hard to do in midair. You usually have the wreath inside, I'm sorry, the bow inside the wreath, making it a little bit easier. I'm just trying to spread those apart. Doing opposite of what I did on the other side. Fluff all of our loops because I was kind of smushing them. So fluff them all. Make sure they have a lot of life. Really good looking bow. However, if I put this bow in here, look what's going to happen. It's going to hide. It's going to hide. So what I could have done was I could have taken the sign and moved it up, kind of shifted towards the top in the corner, and then I could have helped make this, you know, kind of down here, or down here rather. With your tails, your loops doing really good. Again, it was a tail on each side and 2 loops on each side, and then definitely very much matches our wreath. So again, this was a video for the kit. If you have the kit, thank you very much for purchasing. If you're looking for a kit or something similar, you can always find us sincerelycreativemom.com, and at the very top you can click on Etsy shop. It'll bring you to all the wreaths we have pre-made, and or give you an option selection of the kits that we have available. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, you can please join my text message list. We send messages when we're going live, when there's a new video available, when there are new kits available, etc. It's just like you were texting your friend or family. Just text me at 810-498-2310, and you'll receive a text message when I go live. Again, thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe or like our page. Until next time, I'll see you soon.